Welcome back. You're watching the holiday edition of Business Morning. We're live to you on Channels Television, your home for the news. Of course, you know the conversation doesn't dull. There's no dull moment on this conversation here on Business Morning. So we can talk to us on any of our social media platforms. Let's remind you on Twitter, we're at Biz Morning. You can also tweet at Channels TV. I'll be glad to also engage with you positively on Twitter. I'm at CTV Harriet, and people will also be glad to mind your business. Send us an email if you can't send us tweets to businessmorning@channelstv.com. Let's remind you of some of the stories we're tracking at this hour. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation says it has adopted strategies to ensure operational profitability through the renegotiation of all existing contracts. A statement issued by the corporation explains that contract renegotiations has in gains of between 5 and 30% discount so far. The Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Meikanti Baru, also confirms that the corporation has completed negotiations with its joint venture partners towards the resolution of cash call funding challenges through payments of arrears. According to the NNPC, efforts are on to put in place structures that would enable smooth implementation of new business models for the NNPC subsidiaries in the new year. And Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has again appealed to the militants vandalizing oil installations in the Niger Delta to come to the negotiation table. The president believes discussions will afford both the government and the militants the opportunity to decide how the nation's resources could be managed instead of agitators picking arms against the state. Now, for 2017, the president plans to continue to engage with people from that region. Let's listen.
We are determined to get our production back to at least 2.2 million barrels a day, consistent with the views which have also been expressed by the National Assembly. We will continue our engagement with the community in the Niger Delta to ensure that there is minimum disruption to oil production. The National Assembly, state and local governments, traditional rulers, civil society organizations, and oil companies must also do their part in this engagement. We must all come together to ensure peace reigns in the Niger Delta. In addition, we will continue our ongoing reforms to enhance the efficiency of the management of our oil and gas resources. To this effect, from January 2017, the federal government will no longer make provision for joint venture cash calls. Going forward, all joint venture operations shall be subjected to a new funding mechanism which will allow for cost recovery. This new funding arrangement is expected to boost exploration and production activities with resultant net positive impact on government revenue, which can be allocated to infrastructure, agriculture, solid minerals, and manufacturing sectors.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari. Now, the Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors has again assured customers of continued metering. In Monday's full-page advertorial, the electricity distribution companies say in the interim, until all customers can be metered, estimated billing methodology as defined by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission will be used. Now, this method has been faulted and labeled crazy billing by customers, but the power companies say it is in line with stipulated guidelines from the regulator and that a huge penalty is placed on any disco that fails to conform. Now, that's one of the issues that they're battling with. Another issue they're battling with is funding. It's a major issue for this critical sector of the economy. The president, during the 2017 budget proposal to the National Assembly, spoke on the federal government's plans to provide the much-needed liquidity injection to support investors.
During 2016, we conducted a critical assessment of the power sector value chain, which is experiencing major funding issues. Although government, through the CBN and development finance institutions, has intervened, it is clear that more capital is needed. We must also resolve the problem of liquidity in the sector. On this part, government has made provision in the 2017 budget to clear its outstanding electricity bills. This, we hope, will provide the much needed liquidity injection to support the investors.
President Muhammadu Buhari there at the presentation, 2017 budget proposal presentation to a joint session of the National Assembly. So let's bring in Channel's business news editor now, Bosun Omofaye, as we focus on the electricity issues that will be coming up going into 2017. Good morning to you, Bosun.
Good morning.
So, clearing outstanding debts. Let's take it first of all from the editorial in the papers this morning about the metering drive. That's one conversation that has not suffered any lull ever since it started. That's because a lot of Nigerians, the customers, complaining about overbilling and in some cases estimated billing. Now, with the president saying that they're going to be clearing outstanding debts and the backlog, maybe, and of course injecting critical funding to that sector, maybe they'll have the much needed funds to begin to buy meters and, you know, increase the amount of meters given to customers.
The discussions around meterings and estimated billings, or crazy billings as customers call them in Nigeria here, will continue in 2017. It's not something that is going to go away anytime soon. Because the legacy issues and concurrent issues within the electricity sector are quite tenuous and not things that you resolve as quickly as you may think. The legacy issues was part of what the president spoke about. MDAs are owing about 100 billion or something, a little bit less than that. How the federal government intend to pay that, like clearing arrears of subsidies of petrol import, is something that we'll also need to look at. Whether it's going to be via what you call the bond notes that the government will issue to the power companies, the GENCOs, the DISCOs, and what have you. That is on one hand, to see if those bond notes will be issued